just like, I'm a straight realist. Like we are in this society that the grass is greener somewhere else. So it's like, there's a lot of people that are completely like, I mean, look at the marriage, like
50, 55%.
We were talking about this on the way out. 55% of Americans are divorced.
Right.
So there's only 45% of like people who survive. So we're just in this world where people are like, oh, well, fuck it. I don't know if it's going to work anyway.
Well, I mean, and I would argue that the remaining portion that stays together doesn't necessarily want to be together. They're sticking together for X, Y, Z.
Cheaper to keep her.
Yeah, and I'm not saying all of them. I grew up too, like with parents who stuck together, and I'm saying obviously they had their difficult times, but I also know that there's people who stick together for reasons that are less than why they want to stick together, right? They got kids, they got assets, they got shit together.
And I mean, if you look at, so I mean, there's a lot of hopefully good reasons to get married, but one of the big ones that kind of stands out to me is if you look at some of the studies, they actually say, okay, so what children, generally speaking, have the best odds of having a successful life, finishing school. I mean, they kind of have this metric of what success is. Okay, who goes to college or who finishes college, who makes a certain figure, has a certain salary, ends up being married with a family, right? That was kind of the metric of what a successful child being raised was. Right. And they found that the best environment was a two-parent home. You know?
Right, 100%. The nuclear family, I agree with,
which
is the best.
Unfortunately, as you're saying, though, is, you know, there's this mentality, I think, which is false. You know, it's a false, mentality as far as the grass is greener.
Yep.
Because then you realize you get on the other side and you're like, it's pretty much the same thing or it's worse. And people don't want to work hard enough to water the grass that they got. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying that's right by any means.
Yeah, right.
What I'm just saying is we're in the society that's like, that's what people see. That's what they're around.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, I have my own argument on that. And statistically, we look at typically women are the ones leaving the family.
That's true.
And they're also the most subsidized. Yep, statistically.
Most women initiate divorce. I forget the number, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a high amount. But then on top of that, women are also highly subsidized to be single. Most men aren't getting, WIC programs and things like that. That's typically a female program. So when you look at deterioration of society and deterioration of the nuclear family, there's a lot of evidence showing what's causing that.
Right, and as far as married, like Chuy, you're married, right?
Yeah.
Okay, not to put your business out there.
Sorry,
ladies, but
Doc can kill you.
No, sorry, man. I know the DMs are gonna start being empty now. I apologize, man. I don't know how you guys are. I'm not married or anything, but would you say, if you look at it, if you want to be married, I mean, I want to be married. I don't know if you guys want to be. You want to raise a family, things like that. Do you think, compared to 5 years ago or even 10 years ago, because I'm 37, do you think it's easier to find a wife that's, or to obtain marriage, a successful marriage? You think it's easier now or before?
I'd ask you how broad of a spectrum are we talking? Like easier in America or easier worldwide? Easier worldwide, I'd say yes, it is easier. Easier in America? No, absolutely not.
What about you personally? Do you feel like for you personally to find do you notice that when you're dating women that you're finding that, okay, the selection of women that I've dated, it seems like there's a lot of good women potentials that I could, maybe they're not for me, but I think they'd be a good wife compared to now or to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say, and they know a little bit about my situation, but so the idea being, I'm less about chasing that to happen more than I am, trusting in God and letting that come.
For sure.
You get what I mean? But at the end of the day, I feel like if I was to go searching, I feel like I know much better places to check for what I want than here in my own area.
All right, well, what's the secret, man? I'm trying to get married, man. I'm trying to have a family. What's the place? Where do you go?
Well, I guess it depends on your beliefs, right? Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah, I was about to say, bro, I've been traveling, man. And
you've been out here.
I've lived, man. But there are some good women out there. God, man, I already know I'm going to get a lot of hate DMs for this, talking about Western women. But, maybe it's just a humility thing as far as, U.S. I think one of the most important things you could do, especially as a man, is just start traveling. And it's not even about finding a wife and women and all that stuff, but it really opens your mind to what's important, because you go to some of these places that are not as, as financially in a position that the U.S. in, and they're more impoverished, and you look at what they appreciate. And at least my anecdotal experience is that they tend to appreciate the little things, family, friends. And as I'm 37, look back and reflect on life, those are things I typically remember, the experience with family and friends.
100%.
And I found in my experience, they seem to appreciate a lot more here. Not really the flash and glamour like we do in the U.S., the superficial stuff, the social media stuff.
Well, but I would also just add into that, I feel like something, and this may be bullshit or not, but I feel like something that most other cultures appreciate that we've lost is male roles and female roles.
I agree.
So that might be a factor. I don't know. That's for you guys to decide.
And I think a part of that.
No, it's like the culture in the U.S. today. Like, yes, we're very diverse as a country, but the culture in the U.S., regardless of race, ethnicity, background, religion, whatever, is so much different here than in other countries. Yeah. And I think that has so much to do with it.
Yeah, I always joke around. Hopefully, Shorty clicked off this part already. If it weren't to work, bro, I'm going to a ranch in Mexico.
A ranch in Mexico?
And finding a fucking like
little señorita
with the deep, with the morals, everything, bro. Yeah, okay. No, but I sympathize with people though right now who have fucked up situations and are like our age, right? Because or even the ones that are just single still because. Dude, I guess Vegas is a different animal too, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's a whole different animal, but even in Chicago too, bro. It's just like I
was gonna say Chicago, Miami,
all these
California,
big places, bro. It's like, I was just talking to somebody about that today, like the just apps, and then it's almost weird if you go up to a girl and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" They'll be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, like what happened to meeting people out?
Which is, bro, I sympathize
if it's not
dearly
on Tinder, you ain't meeting no one.
Exactly, which is weird too because it's like, I'm a 7, but 6 of those points are personality. I can make you laugh.
Personality, go. Hey, how do you think I get by, man?
I don't see my herpes. I'm good.
So
show you my good side, right? Show you my good side.
He's like Two-Face. He turns around. Hey, he's like, hey, how you doing?
Oh man,
I think that's too why it was so much easier probably 10, 15 years ago is because people actually like communicated and interacted with each other. Yeah. And actually people focused on building like a bond in a relationship and getting to know people. Yeah. Now, like to Chuy's point, half these fucking people, like they don't even know how to like go up and talk to someone or introduce themselves.
Right. Definitely true.
Well, yeah,
because it's these damn apps.
It's not even so much that we don't know how to, but I don't know how you guys are, but let me ask you this because like even when I'm in the gym, right? So sometimes I'll be there and then you always get that eye, right? Like some girl looks over at you and you already know. Like you know what the look looks like when it's like, yo, come talk to me. Right?
Yeah. For sure.
But you're like, I'm not going to go over there and risk fucking being, he's a creeper! And they're like putting you on social media. Channel. Like, come on, I ain't doing it. Yeah. I'm not falling for this. Not today. Not again. Right. I know you.
They're going to go home and tell all their girlfriends.
Yeah, as an older guy that's kind of was, raised during high school and went to college during the time where social media wasn't as prominent. Facebook came out when I was in college. You still had to go talk to a woman.
Right.
Yep.
And it actually works out for me having that ability, especially when you talk to women. It actually works in my favor because these youngsters, they lost that ability and that trait. So they had a big disadvantage. I was watching this one YouTube was like speed dating, and these guys are probably like in their early 20s, late teens, 19 or whatever. And there was a girl there. It was kind of like this bachelor thing. They would come, introduce and talk. Bro, it's the most socially awkward thing. And I'm like,
nice tits.
Yeah, right. And don't get me wrong. I was a late bloomer, man. I didn't really understand the game and the dance with conversation with women until I was probably in my early 20s.
Yeah.
But I learned it. But these youngsters, man, they don't have that ability because, again, I don't know if it's fixation on social media or these dating apps, but it puts them at a disadvantage. So I guess since I'm still trying to get married, just keep being socially
But to that point, though, go ahead.
Well, all I was going to say is a disadvantage, yes, but in a way, I'm curious because I think probably in a social setting, your game is hands down going to fucking win someone over, right?
Watch when we go to
but here's the question, though.
Man. But
gentlemen, are you on any of the dating apps?
I have before, man. Right now, no. There's, I might be dating somebody. Maybe I ain't gonna get too in detail with it.
That's
fair. I mean, I've done it before. I mean, I feel like
I was just kidding. We ain't doing shit today. I'm sorry.
Especially these days, if you're, why not use every resource that's available? I'm not 100%. Saying solely just fixate on the dating apps because there's other ways to meet people, meet women. I'll tell you, honestly, some of the best people I've met, whether it was someone I was dating or just met in general, were people that I met in person. I mean, me and Chuy, we met in the barbershop, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or if I go on vacation, meet somebody in person, you're still friends to these days.
Here's why I asked, though. So I'm just curious to hear your perspective on this because here's my argument, right? I'm playing devil's advocate, if you will. So you are better in that setting of in person. But I feel like the younger generation would be better on the setting of technology. Okay, you hear that?
I don't know, man. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at both, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't, I'm my biggest fan, man. I'm pretty good at both.
But that's what I was gonna say. I feel like, like the younger guys are losing the ability to talk to women, but in the same way,
they know how to DM like a motherfucker.
Yeah, but I also feel like the younger women, and I'm not saying younger like super young, right? But are losing that ability to be able to be spoken to in that way.
Good point.
You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying like, I've seen it before where it's just like, I don't like somebody will come up and say like, hey, how you doing? And then just kind of like their wires get crossed. They're like, oh, he's a creep. And it's just like, because
like
he
robot.
because he didn't DM you, or it's just like, it's immediately rejection.
But here's my only argument on that, right? If we go back to, once again, the like natural gender roles.
Thing, though,
I agree with you. Listen, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but all I'm saying is I still feel like I'd rather have the ability to have the gift of gab in public to be able to fucking meet a girl, because the default role, that's what a girl will do, and the guy takes the control of the situation and makes them feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
And I will say that I feel like women maybe even subconsciously develop that skill, maybe unknowingly, because let's be real, attractive woman gets hit on all the time. You ain't even got to be an attractive woman. So you're going to build that skill of talking or being talked to if you're a woman in general, because guys are going to come up and talk to you, right?
True.
Now, thinking of the flip side, bro. How many men
are practicing
going up? Because like you said, you see a pretty girl, I don't want to be called a creep. What if she says no? Which guys, listen, man, the worst she can say is no. As long as you're a gentleman, get over it. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman says, it's nothing to hang your head shame. There's beautiful women all the time. You don't even know the girl. Right. Ain't nothing to be sad or upset about.
Yeah, there is a little bit of anxiety. I feel like I see it at the gym all the time. I think we talked about this last episode, but it's just like, you see a girl every day, you feel like, all right, I think today I'm gonna go talk to her. But it's just like, I'd rather not, because then I feel like if she's like, no thanks, I might just move states. Like,
right.
But fuck moving gyms. I'm moving to fucking Montana.
So we going to planet.
I'm out of this bitch.
It's funny that you say that, because as much confidence as I have in myself as a person, as a gentleman, I don't think I've ever like just approached a woman in the gym just for some of those concerns, like, I don't want to make it awkward.
Well, it's a weird play. Yeah.
Like, I don't want to have to switch gym memberships.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Because you see her,
and then you see him every morning. You're sweating and shit already.
And then if you do date and it doesn't go right, and if she thinks you crazy or you think if she is crazy,
all you got to do is hold out. She'll leave gyms, bro. We get to stay, bro. This is our gym.
We're here first.
Hang your flag at the door. Let's go.
Too much, man.
Hey, so.
Hey, if you guys like that last clip, make sure you guys go to our channel. We got tons more. Fuck! Listen up, guys. If you like that clip, make sure to go check out our page for all our other clips, posted daily and full videos. You like that shit?